So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like a Nick Theater. I've imagined your family.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime. I do it.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mrs. Atom.
And this is Mr. Adam.
Welcome back to another episode of By the By.
By the by. Yeah.
All right.
Sorry.
Well, hey, it's better than Yoda beatboxing and your rapping.
Do not question my
According
Yoda
to some
beatboxing
people, anyway.
And my rapping. I am going to be the next Eminem. That's it. Only I'm going to be the very happily bisexual and non-aggressive Eminem. I'm going to be like M&Ms. I melt in your mouth, not in your hand. People will say I'm sweet and a little nutty.
I would completely agree with that.
Yeah. So yeah, welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, I have a double chocolate beer.
You've been saving those.
I do. I'm saving and saving.
They're precious cargo.
Yes. So I only drink these when I'm podcasting now.
Yeah.
So
it's the new podcasting drink. Forget the wine.
Yeah. Well, you've got your bourbon and Coke over there.
I
now.
do. I know.
All right. What do we have going on? I feel like there's probably announcements. Is it too early to start talking about next year's vacations?
No.
Well, that way people
of course
can.
not.
I mean, because look,
people need to plan.
People need to plan. So I'm going to grab a calendar real quick, and you start the talking.
Okay. So we have a few holidays. Well, more than a few holidays planned late next year, and we're trying to get a whole faction to come with us because, it's always more fun with fun people.
That's right.
But we've got Passion in Paradise in October.
Yes.
There are 2 weeks of that. We'll be going to the first one again like we did this year.
Which my guess is the 18th through the 22nd of October.
Okay. I was going to say, we've got a flyer for it. Let me pull that up.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, 18th to 22nd, the Thursday to Monday, and then the 25th through the 29th.
But we won't be there.
Week.
No. People want to see
but
us.
It's still a fun time if you can't make it,
Yes. So we'll be at Passion in Paradise up in FNQ, Far North Queensland.
Yep. I love that.
The 18th through the 22nd.
Mm-hmm.
And then...
So anybody in Australia or anybody traveling, passing through,
That's right.
Come join us. It'll be exciting.
That'll be exciting. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun. And then the November 3rd through November 10th, we are going to be in Mexico. We are finally going to the Desire Resorts.
Yes. We're going to end up hitting both of them
yes,
while
exactly.
we're there.
Because, if one is good, more is better, right? That's the whole attitude of swinging.
By the time you get halfway around the world, you might as well, right?
Yeah. So we're going to be there with the Life on the Swing Set takeover
at Riviera Maya.
From the 3rd through the 10th. Very excited about that.
Yes.
And then we're switching over to Desire Pearl we wanted to see what was going on with swinging down under. We got a thing and at all. I need to figure out who all's going to that so I can plug them all.
Average swingers. We'll have to look and see who all goes.
Yeah, I don't remember. But we need to figure that out. Anyway,
Yeah.
So we're going to be there at that one.
So they do a group thing at Desire Pearls. And once we found out that was the week after Swing Set, and we're already in Mexico, then it's like, well, we might as well just
totally
stay
go to
another week, right?
That's why not? Why not? It's only vacation time.
Exactly.
So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah.
So only 340 something more days.
Yes.
But who's counting?
It's gonna be a fun-filled month.
That's right.
Yes.
And then we've got my birthday party coming up.
So anybody who's in Sydney, between Christmas and New Year's. We're
right.
going to go ahead and put it out there. So our secret spot, they're now open on Thursdays. They have been for a little while. And we're going to make that Thursday, the 28th of December, a very special evening for
Yes.
those at our secret spot if they choose to come out.
It is a Thursday, but it's the Thursday after Christmas and before New Year. So,
Yeah.
It's a time to have fun.
Yeah, we're going to celebrate Mr. Adams' birthday. And he came to me and said that all I want for my birthday is for people to eat cake off of me. So we're going to have a splashing birthday party at our secret spot. We're going to turn one section of it into a plastic-covered splosh zone. And we're going to have lots of cake and cream and pies and whatever you want.
Jams and jellies and I am saying mostly, if not all, sweet foods, not savory.
Probably more sweet than savory. There
Yeah.
might be a couple savory things we'll have to see. But yeah, it's going to be a fun party at OSS that night. And if you do decide to come out and there's any food you particularly want to play with, whether it be to have someone eat it off of you, eat it off of them, just rub it around. You don't have to eat it. Just rub it around. You like the texture. Bring it with you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
It's
excited.
just going to be a big, fun, messy night. And if you would like, you can wear a swimsuit because,
Yeah.
sometimes sweet things don't always agree with the bodies.
That's right.
So it might be good to wear a swimsuit that's easily washable. But
Easily washable. That's great. Yeah, so that's going to be fun. So that's what we've got coming up. Those that I can remember. Yeah, so I'm sure there's other things. And I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll be other places. But if you definitely want to see us and come out and talk to us, we'd love it. So yeah, we'll be at those 4 places in the next month and year.
yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Month, year.
Confusing.
Yeah. So what are we talking about tonight?
We're talking about flirting
Ooh.
because everybody always wants to know about flirting.
I like flirting.
Yeah. And a lot of times, too, what happens is, we talk to some of our friends or swinger friends, I guess, and some of them, many of them actually, I would say, open up their relationships after many years of marriage. And you sometimes kind of forget how to flirt and get back into it, and not just how to do it, but then how to recognize when someone's flirting with you. So yeah, we're going to go through some little tips and tricks and things to look out for and things to do yourself if there's someone you're interested in.
So I always think of Lolo Lady, and I'm calling her out on this one because she is notoriously shit at flirting. And she jokingly said at one point that her flirting style is like this. She looks at someone, she smiles and goes, I like bread. And so I think that has worked for her actually pretty well, because I think at one point somebody responded, well, I like cheese. And next thing you know, they were making sandwiches. So that to me seems like a positive thing.
Now you just need somebody to say, I like ham, and they've got a wonderful sandwich threesome.
I know. This is like the menage de deliciousness. So yeah, that just cracks me up. But yeah, so flirting for me, I've always liked... I've always been a flirt, and
Yeah, you have.
well, it's funny. I do it. I've always done it really without even thinking about it, and I tend to flirt with people that I'm not even interested in. It's just me. That's my personality.
Yeah.
I think that's the
Yeah.
thing is, people think I'm flirting with them even when I'm just being nice and friendly. Maybe it's because I'm being nice and friendly.
Some people aren't used to that.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But so there was a study done by Dr. Albert Mehrabian.
Easy for you to say.
I don't know. But his name is Mehrabian. I wasn't ready to actually to speak today. But it's the 7-38-55 rule.
Okay.
So when we talk about interpersonal communication or talking or how we communicate with people, only 7% of it is spoken word. 38% is voice and tone of voice, and 55% is body language. So, I mean, that's just saying that, most importantly, you communicate your intentions. More than 50% of that is how you present yourself, body language and whatnot.
And that also means that you should pay attention to other people's body language and try to figure out what they're telling you with their body as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Over 50%? I believe it, though, really. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Because body language and tone of voice can tell you so
much about how
yeah.
people, and we tend to judge people. You know, we always say don't judge a book by its cover, but we tend to do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if your cover is, at least presented well without
Happy
creases
and open,
yeah, like happy and bubbly and excited or interested,
Yeah.
or at least smiling. That's I think that's key. Excuse me, I'm all raspy because we were up so late the last 2 nights, and I'm like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah, sexy smoker's voice.
Clearly, and I've not been smoking, so I'm doing something wrong or really right. So there was this really, really awesome book that I read called The Like Switch, by Jack Schaefer and somebody else, Marvin Carlins. The Like Switch, highly recommend it.
It was really interesting.
Yeah.
Fascinating read.
So he talks about the friendship formula and I would sort of combine that with flirting, is that friendship formula, and because anytime we're interested in somebody and we want to flirt with them, what we're really trying to do is build a relationship or build a friendship. And he says that friendship is equal to the proximity plus duration plus frequency plus intensity of time spent with people. So proximity, how close are you to that person? Duration, how much time do you spend with that person? Frequency, how often do you see that person? And intensity, which is what is the intensity of the relationship or the time spent to build that relationship. And that always, I mean, again, this sounds like commonsensical stuff, but I didn't ever think about it until he sort of broke it down. I was like, oh yeah, that does make sense.
And when you look back at your current relationships, not just, like romantic partner relationships, but even friendships and people at work that you like, people that you get along with, and you start to think about, like, how did your relationship with them, how was it established? And oftentimes you can see those principles in there, and that, like, oh yeah, they were either around a lot, or they're just, that intensity, like,
it was a stressful time at work, and we had to bond together to be successful.
And you look at your family members that you're closest to, the same kind of thing. Is it duration? Is it the proximity? That kind of thing. And you can see it in all different walks of life. And sometimes one or two of those may be a lot stronger than the others, but you still need some combination of all four to make it work.
And I would use the bar, like a bar situation. Let's look at that as for use, how you might use this for flirting. I think the easiest one let's say there's someone you're interested in at the bar, and they're sitting at the bar and you're not sitting at the bar. So frequency would be the number of times you're going up to the bar, which may not be to get drinks, because do not get drunk. Drunk flirts are not good flirts. But you can walk up to the bar, ask for a napkin or a serviette, and walk up to the bar and, I don't know, check out what they had behind the bar, pick up a menu. And so you can do this to sort of make yourself more available. And we've all done that before, where the more times we go up to the bar, we keep seeing the same people. Yeah. At some point you break the ice and one of you will say something to the other. And I think that's kind of
give a quick smile.
Or duration. If you're standing at the bar, the longer you stand at the bar, the more easy it becomes to strike up the conversation with the person who's sitting there or who's already at the bar. And again, that proximity, how close are you? And we're not saying be on top of them, but I'm saying, it's easier to strike up a conversation if you're at the stool next to the person than you are if you're on the other side of the bar.
Yeah.
And intensity. I think intensity is something that might be difficult to do at the bar, but if both of you ordered the same drink, that's a commonality. So intensity here would be something that you both share. Or a what are you drinking kind of thing. How intense, you can imagine a situation where somebody spilt the drink. That would be an intense, like, holy shit, but
don't spill your drink either, especially on them. Don't do that.
Or at the bar. Yeah that's just work for other people. I want to make it very clear too that this is not that stupid pickup artist shit. I hate those guys.
What? You mean that doesn't work?
I know, right? No, I think it does work, and that's what's really sad. I have no idea. I started reading the book just to sort of get an idea of where the guy was coming from, and as I read the book, I'm like, oh my god, you're a monster. You're kind of a dick, a complete douche, and I couldn't even finish the book. And there you go. So that's my story. What I like this stuff because this stuff is based in science, and this stuff is it's
behavioral science.
It's behavioral science, and I think that is interesting. And if you can, I'm for all intents and purposes, what we're talking about tonight isn't how to like pick someone up. It's how to present yourself in the best manner possible,
And how
to recognize the friendship cues and the nonverbal friendship cues.
I was saying how to establish a relationship, especially one based on friendship or some kind of commonality.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you may not want to do it if you're looking for a one night stand, it may not be quite the right thing. But if you're looking for some kind of relationship, then yeah.
So moving on to nonverbal friendship cues. There are 4. Do you remember the 4?
Oh goodness, you're gonna test me.
I am.
Nonverbal friendship cues. I would say the eyebrow flash. There's the head tilt, the genuine smile, and oh gosh, what's the last one? Isopraxism.
There you go.
Yes.
Oh, 4 of them. I'm impressed.
All right, so eyebrow flash.
Eyebrow flash. It happens in about a sixth of a second when we meet somebody. It happens extremely quickly. It's often accompanied by something like, "Hi, how are you?" And we do this when we recognize people, and we it's somebody that we know. It's somebody that we're already in a tribe or a friendship with. Often it happens from about 2 meters away. Can happen from anywhere between 10. Can be recognized anywhere from 10 to 16 meters away. So it's that quick flash of an eyebrow of recognition when you see
just
somebody.
raise them real quick.
Yeah, and we do this. I found myself doing this all the time. You oftentimes I do the head nod as well, but we do it, and if you do that to somebody, that's showing that you recognize them. So, or if they do it to you, that's showing that they recognize you. And so it's kind of something to watch out for because it's something we do without even really thinking about it. And that sort of gets me excited. I love when I do things and I don't even have any idea what I'm doing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you pay attention, most people will do it, but you just don't realize that you're doing it until now that you hear it, and you're gonna think about it and realize that you actually do.
Yeah, and it's kind of cool. So pay attention to what you're doing. Next up is head tilting. And this is something that I've seen as well. And I always go back to the bar, because alcohol, but as a sort of an experimental place, and you watch people do this, and it's really cool because bartenders do it very well. They tilt their heads because it's a sign of being approachable, trustworthy, friendly, and honest. And if you go to a bartender, one that's very comfortable in their skin and is wanting people to come up and interact with them, it happens. They'll tilt their head to one side or the other, and ultimately that's something that makes you appear more attractive, because if you want to look at body language science, it's because you're showing off your jugular, so you're actually you're exposing yourself.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in a position of vulnerability, and that tends to be attractive to people, because people are like, oh look, they're being vulnerable in front of me.
Yeah, that's true, because when you think about people that have that don't do that, and they have their head straight, straight up and down kind of, tend to be more, I'm going to say, forthright, and it's I would say a sign of power.
Power and dominance, absolutely. And it's something that...
But I don't associate that with nice, friendly openness kind of,
right.
Especially on initial meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it tends to be men more commonly don't tilt their head than women.
I can see that.
Yeah. Us bad men.
I think I live with my head tilted. I feel like it's tilted a lot.
Well, mine is because I'm lazy and my head's heavy. It's full of brains.
It's that massive brain.
It's full of brains. Yes.
They weigh you down.
Yeah. Oh.
You need a brace to hold your head up.
I do, because or helium. I need to fill all that empty space with helium.
Okay.
That would be
Wait,
great.
How do you have a lot of brains and empty space?
It's like Narnia up there. Look through my ear, you'll see little Tumnus. Hello, Tumnus, whatever his name was. Goat boy. Oh my god.
That was for you, Lawrence.
That was for you, Lawrence. That's right. So what else can you do to present yourself? One of the other four?
Smile.
I know.
Come on, people.
It's like the number of times we have been.
It's not hard.
You know, the number of times we've been at Our Secret Spot and we've seen people sitting in the corner frowning. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to be having fun. Going to a swingers event, going to a bar, it's supposed to be an enjoyable experience. It's supposed to be fun. What do you do when you fun? You act like it's having fun, like you're having fun. And how do you do that? You smile.
Uh-huh.
This isn't rocket science. This is pretty common, you know, like, anyway.
I think what happens, though, for a lot of people is they get, especially in bigger cities where you're walking through the city and you don't want people to talk to you because, you know, you're just like, I'm on my way to work or I'm going shopping or meeting friends or whatever, and I don't want to talk to people around me.
Yeah, get out of my way.
Yeah, and all the, you know, people that are, you know, standing around and handing out flyers or whatever, especially near train stations for us and stuff like that, and you don't want to talk to them, they kind of like put those blinders on and just head down, they scowl.
The urban scowl.
Yeah.
It even has a name, the urban scowl.
And so, yeah, and they're just like, don't talk to me. And I think that, you know, you get used to doing that a lot, and it then translates into when you're in these social environments. And then you look angry and people don't want to talk to you.
No, it's absolutely
so just pay attention to your own body language and smile at people.
Yes.
Appear friendly. You should be friendly, but at least appear friendly.
Yeah, you should be friendly. So actually sell yourself as friendly because you are friendly.
Yeah.
But yeah, smiling, of course, it makes you look less dominant and more likable, which is nice. That's how people want to be. You want to be around people who are not dominant and likable.
Yeah.
I mean, it will. You want to be friendly.
Yeah.
Show confidence and act like you're happy, and you know, enthusiastic, and you're accepting. Smiling people are accepting people, and that's kind of nice. And you will tend to have receptivity, and I think that's a nice thing too.
Yeah, just smile, people.
But there are real smiles and fake smiles because we've all
That's
seen.
true, there are.
We've all seen the fake smiles. We go to the Kohl's, Woolies, grocery store, Walmart, wherever, and you see the people standing behind the counters checking you out, not in the good kinky way, but in the give me your money. I'll give you
Pay
some
for your
product.
groceries.
Yeah. No, GTFO.
And they have to smile at 1 billion people a day.
Yeah, and those people don't have real smiles. But how do you tell a real smile? Real smiles have two things that fake smiles don't have.
They have crow's feet at the corner of your eyes because you push your cheeks up and that causes those wrinkles, and that therefore you also then have the upturned corners.
Look at you. You're becoming a pro.
I know.
I love it.
I actually paid attention.
It's always funny because, like, to me, people hate wrinkles. Everybody hates wrinkles, and I really don't understand that. I actually kind of like wrinkles because wrinkles give definition and story to the face.
They tell a story of your life.
Yeah. And, you know, we've had friends that go out and get the Botox in their forehead because I don't like my wrinkles. And for me, most of the times when I see, it's so obvious that people have had Botox because they're so shiny. And I mean, if you get Botox, I'm not going to judge. I don't care. But it's one of those things that I think you should be proud of your wrinkles.
Yeah.
I am proud of my wrinkles, and I have them. Most of my wrinkles are from smiling too much.
I was gonna say I've definitely got the crow's feet wrinkles, but I'm okay with that because they're happy wrinkles.
Yes, and you have the orgasm wrinkles as well.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you make because she makes this face when she orgasms, and it's like right there.
My eyebrows furrow together, so you get those two lines in between.
It's like a perpendicular equal side.
Yeah, it's like at the top of the bridge of the nose kind of thing. Yeah, those are my O lines. Yeah. They're going to be very deep one day, but it's okay. That's a lot of good happiness.
That's right. I like to think that I help those ruts.
Oh, you do. A lot.
Crevices of love. Can I see your crevice of love? That sounds like a really good song from a musical. The crevices of love.
That does not sound like a good song. We can workshop it though, make it a better song.
That's all right. All right. We'll do that.
All right.
Coming to the Great White Way, Crevices of Love, starring me. What's the point of doing a musical if I can't be the star of it? Anyway, so sorry, we're also eating dinner tonight.
Yeah, imagine that.
I got some chicken wangs.
Yeah. So the fourth one, isopraxism.
Yes.
Yeah.
And everybody gets a nickel, a shiny nickel, if you know what isopraxism is. I wonder if anybody's yelling at their phones right now.
I bet a lot of people know what it is.
but a lot of people can't spell it.
Yeah.
Anyway, isopraxism is a $10 word for mirroring. So it's one of those things, and again, this is something that we do this without even thinking about it. And it's I kind of love it because, again, you go to the bars and you see it all the time because you see couples sitting down at a bar or at a table and they lean into each other, or when they're intimate and sharing moments, and they lean away from each other when they both want to get away. Groups of people, you'll see them standing at the bar, and one will take a drink, and then within 20 or 30 seconds, suddenly everybody's parched and they want to take a drink too, so they drink as well. Or at work, you might scratch your arm, and because you're part of a team or in a group of people that want to be part of a team, other people will get an itch. It's like the itch is contagious.
And often what happens too is if you play with your hair, just kind of run your fingers through or over, or just twirl it a little bit, then you'll see kind of around the group, little by little, people start kind of fiddling with their hair a little bit.
I think it's fascinating. That's my favorite one.
Yeah.
And I love to.
It's fun to watch people and pick it out in groups. You can definitely see it.
Just taking a step away from isopraxism, something else that I think is really cool is you'll see people at restaurants. Oftentimes, what we'll do is when we sit down at a table, the first thing we'll do is we'll move the stuff from the center to one edge of the table, and that's because we don't want anything as a physical barrier between us, because we feel that it affects our communication. And how does that affect our communication? Because it blocks our visual sight, our line of sight between the two people. So we'll move that so that we can more clearly read the people that we're sitting at the table with.
Yeah.
So if you see people sit down at the table and they don't move, that might mean that they actually want to be move the objects. They might want that barrier, that protection. Yeah,
that's always an interesting one to watch
cool
out
stuff.
for.
So we've got these 4 kind of things down. How do we know, I guess, if somebody is interested in you? How do we know if they like you back?
I would say pay attention to how they respond to your cues. And so if you're looking at them and smiling, are they looking back at you? Are they returning your gaze? In more than just a quick pass, like, scanning the room kind of thing, but are they actually, paying attention to you? And are they smiling back? That's important. Especially if they're meeting your eyes and smiling at the same time, I would say.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And it's one of those things too. You want to make sure it's a real smile.
Yeah.
Because they may just be being polite.
Yeah.
Yeah, but definitely make eye contact. You end that non-creepy stare. You end that gaze with a genuine smile, and then if you get a return smile, if you look back at them and they're smiling, or a return, they're also looking back at you, looking at you. That's definitely a good idea or good sign.
And you can, as far as the isopraxism goes as well, look and see if they are mirroring anything that you're doing, or maybe you're mirroring them.
Yes.
But pay attention to that.
And if you're standing near these people, or you're standing near a person that you're interested in, person or persons, let's say at a meet and mingle or a cocktail party or something like that, if people who close their arms or cross their arms, they're trying to protect themselves. They're trying to say, give them a little more space.
Unless it's a really cold room.
Unless it's a really cold room, that's true.
Because especially with women, if you have a skimpy little dress on and it's a cold room, it could just be that you're cold.
Fair enough. I guess that's a good point. A lot of these are all broad strokes.
Generalizations, yeah, definitely generalizations. And I would say too is kind of it is a nonverbal cue, but it's a little more intimate cue as well. Is the light touches like on your arm?
Yeah.
If somebody's like telling a joke or talking to you, and they kind of just lightly put their hand on your arm, just as in a passing type of thing, just a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good
I do that
cue.
a lot.
That's a pretty good cue that they're into you.
I do that a lot. It's something that I'm a toucher.
Yeah.
So I'll do that with work colleagues without even thinking about it. It's for me. It's I do that quick tap on their arm or shoulder because we're part of the same team kind of thing, and I like that just like the what's it, not confidence, but the camaraderie. There's a word.
Gotcha.
I knew it was a C word, but not that C word.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's that camaraderie that we have, and that's part of how I build that team kind of thing. But yeah, check out like which way people are leaning as well. If they're, if you're cold, you're gonna have your arms crossed and probably leaning a bit forward. But if your arms are crossed and your shoulders are rolled back and leaning back, that's a power position, and also a position of they're trying to get away from you. They're not interested,
Right.
likely. And check out which way their feet are pointing. Your feet tell where the body wants to go. So if their feet are pointed towards the door and their body is pointed towards you, they want to get away. Their feet are trying to tell you a message, try to tell you a story. If you've got a group of people standing in a circle and you want to enter that circle, or you and your partner want to enter that circle, again, check their feet. Typically, if a group is a closed group and is not, I'm using air quotes here, accepting more applicants, the feet will be all pointed towards the center of the circle. Whereas if they're looking for new applicants, new people, or an open group ready for people to join, all the feet won't all be pointing towards the
Maybe
center.
some toes pointing out,
Yeah.
and maybe bodies turned a little.
Yeah.
And I think that's an interesting one for especially a swingers club or a meet and mingle type of thing, because it's can be a little daunting if you walk into the room and there are groups of people already established. Then how do you know which one to go up to? And if there's somebody that you see that you're interested in, or a group of people that you're interested in, look at their feet, look at where their bodies are pointed, and see if they're open to having other people join them or not. But that can be a hard thing to establish when you're walking in if you're not looking at those cues. It's like, you might feel like I can't walk up to them, but yet if you look at their feet, they could be a very open group.
Yeah, and we've seen that before. The meet and mingle that Our Secret Spot runs. We've seen groups where they all look like they're intent and talking, but you look at their feet and they're not all pointed towards the center, and you make contact. I ran like 4 words together there. You make eye contact with somebody, and they instantly smile and they come on over or come on in, and they accept you into the group. And it's, to me, things like that just never cease to amaze me. And they definitely work. The feet one, the closed groups, I'm a firm believer of. Because we've also tried to get into those closed groups because of someone or someone's that we're interested in, and there's no way to do it. It's just it's clear that group is closed.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Another thing you can do is ask for a small, simple favor. This is something that we all want to feel good about ourselves. We all want to feel like we're nice, good people. And by asking somebody for a small, simple favor, then you are gifting them with that. They're going to feel good about themselves. So, for instance, you're at a bar, you get up and need to use the restroom. So you ask the person, you say, "Oh, will you please watch my seat?" You go to the bathroom, come back, and then when you do, thank you very much. You genuinely thank them, and you've given them that good feeling of hey, I've done something for somebody. And that's again, we want to be around people who make us feel good.
And also, when you say thank you, it opens up that chance for conversation as well.
Yeah.
Because you can say, "Oh, thank you," and then just kind of go on from there. And depending on the situation, just start talking to them about something, even if it's just a passing comment, and see if they respond and if they're receptive.
Right. Sorry, I'm laughing now. So, as I said, we're having a light bite. One of the light bites that we've had tonight is chicken wings. And watching you drink using only you're like a toddler because you're grabbing the glass with just the palms of your hands, not your fingers, because your fingers are so shiny with
my fingers are greasy
with chicken wang juice.
Yeah. How else am I supposed to do it?
I don't know.
Other than dirtying a billion napkins every time I want to take a drink.
Fair enough.
I'll just drink like a toddler. Maybe I need a sippy cup.
That we totally need to get you a sippy cup. So, pitfalls, things don't to do. Don't to do?
Wow, good English.
I like that. Don't to do. Things don't to do. Do not do these, you will.
I'm gonna start beatboxing.
I'm really trying to contain it and not do it because I don't want the Twitter people to yell at me again. Pitfalls.
Some of us want to hear it.
No, not gonna do it. No, there's just it's. Once we start our Patreon account, I'll have a special section for people who like Yoda beatboxing. For $1 a day, you can have my ringtone of Bradford Yoda beatboxing.
$1 a day. That's kind of a lot.
$1 a month.
Okay.
$1. Hey, my beatboxing is worth a lot. All right, woman.
Okay. All right. Sure. Sorry.
Pay me, you will. Elevator eyes. God,
I see this a lot.
you see this at swingers clubs all the time. You see this in literally in elevators. You see this. I've seen it at work. It's disgusting. So, I think unfortunately too, women are more commonly the sufferers of this than men.
But it happens to men too.
But it happens to men too because I've had it done to me. But it's where the people look at you and then they just slowly go down, top of the head, down to the feet, and then slowly back up. And it's just, it makes me feel dirty just pretending to do it. It makes me feel dirty when I see it done or have it done to me. It's gross. Don't do that. Don't be an asshole.
That's creepy.
That's a douche move. Don't be a douche. Don't do what Donnie Don't does. The birds are out there fucking again tonight.
Yeah.
Bird orgy.
It's springtime.
Woo! Get it on.
I guess technically summer now. But...
Hey, baby, you look tweet.
Oh, God.
That's great. See? Flirting. We're giving flirting advice.
Are the birds paying attention?
Oh, my God. So the spotlight effect. This is, isopraxism again. If trying to mirror somebody too closely, don't do that because it's gonna be very obvious. Or if you keep trying to play that game where you do different things and see if people follow you, because it's a fun game to do. Trust me. But
then it becomes super obvious.
Sooner or later, it becomes super obvious, and you are spotlighted. It's very clear that you're not part of the group. We already talked about the urban scowl. Don't have furrowed brows. I mean, don't be grumpy.
Smile.
And smile. And then practice. The more you are cognizant of how you present yourself, and more aware you are of it, the better you'll be at either noticing yourself and noticing other people who are receptive to to this kind of interaction.
Yeah, and I think the question a lot of people have as well is how do I know if someone's flirting with me? Because it's one thing to put these things into practice and to kind of start using some of them, but it can be a whole different ballgame to recognize them when someone's doing them to you. Because you may think, why would anybody flirt with me? Or especially if it's somebody that you find really attractive, it can be daunting and you might think, oh, I'm not good enough for them. And you don't look for those signs in their interactions with you.
Yeah, that's all bullshit. I mean, you're right, but you are good enough. You are smart enough, and gosh darn it, people like you. I mean, it's like, come on, give yourself some credit. It's.
And I would say again too, it's practice here in recognizing them. Not only practice in doing them and learning how to flirt again with people, but just practice in recognizing them. Pay attention to people's body language. Pay attention to their eyes, their smiles, where their feet are pointing, and think to look for those things. And if someone touches you, that light brief touch on your arm, don't dismiss it, kind of take a moment and recognize and think, oh yeah, maybe they're interested in me.
They smacked a mosquito off of me. How nice.
That's different.
Oh, sorry. So, do you want to talk about like triggers and things that trigger
that turn you on?
Yeah. That turn you on? That turn people on?
Yeah, there's some general triggers that we say. If you're purposefully going out to meet people, you're going to go to a meet and mingle or a swingers club, or you're going on a date with somebody that you've met online or wherever. Once you've decided to do that, how do you present yourself in the best way? And there are certain things, like some colors. First of all, we always say wear something that you feel comfortable in and feel sexy in.
Yeah, I always wear purple.
Yeah.
Purple and white. Those are my things.
Yeah. So it's whatever you feel comfortable and sexy in. I mean, you don't want to go like out in your jammies because yes, while they're comfortable, that's not the point. You just don't want to be like stiff and in something that you can't move in or sit in or anything like that. But typically, red is a good trigger color. Most people see red and are attracted to that. Like you said, for you, it's purple. That's what you like, and white. But just, I would say, pick whatever color, and it may depend on your skin tone, your eyes. If you've got green eyes, then absolutely, but you don't necessarily have to wear green, but maybe a piece of jewelry that pulls that out, or that kind of thing. So just pay attention to what you're wearing and the colors in there, and how they look on you.
I always think of Barney Stinson.
Oh, God.
When he says 24 similarities between women and fish, which it's horrific, but I just love that both are attracted to shiny objects. Because I have to be honest, I'm attracted to shiny objects. So yeah.
A nice piece of jewelry or earrings, necklace, something.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that.
Even a nice bag that,
Oh my God, I'm a sucker for an expensive purse.
Yeah. Yeah, that's always a good one.
Not for me. I'm saying, seeing, especially a lady. It's so funny, and I don't know why this is, but Kate Spade is the designer that I absolutely love. If I see a lady get on the bus with a Kate Spade bag, I'm like, oh, she's pretty. It's like, what really? Why is this? So yeah, Kate Spade, Michael Kors. I'm a sucker for both of them.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of guys get on the bus, and you can just, their blazers or suits will open up just a bit, and I can see the inside lining, and I'll know it's a Ted Baker by the inside lining. And I'm like, nice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, those are nice.
But I digress.
But yeah, one of the other triggers, well, I think shiny things and a little bit of bling was one of them. But revealing clothes. I mean, we all know,
course.
Especially for females, if you show a little bit of cleavage, it doesn't mean you have to have everything hanging out. But it doesn't even have to be cleavage, but just skin in general. Like whether it be your arms, your arms are exposed, maybe your legs, it could be cleavage, but skin is one of those triggers in that, people like to see that.
Yeah.
And
heels.
Yeah.
High heels. There's, again, that great quote from Kinky Boots where they talk about, why do we wear heels? And it's lifts the bottom and makes them ripe for mating season. It does. And it's amazing to me how the difference a set of heels. I actually wish that men would wear heels. In normal day-to-day stuff, because again,
it shows off the ass.
My legs look so much better when I'm on a platform or heels. I have not great legs until I'm standing on tiptoe, and then suddenly I'm like, oh well, and look at my ass. Yeah, so, just saying.
Yeah. Revealing clothes. I guess tight clothing, I guess, is more what I'm thinking here.
Yeah.
But tight clothing that kind of it kind of reveals your shape and gives a clue as to what, especially if you're looking in a swingers event. You want to give people a little bit of an idea without too much as to what might be under there. And again, highlight your best asset. It doesn't mean that you have to be skin tight clothes from head to toe.
No.
But if you really like your chest or your back, then wear something that accentuates that. If it's your hips, if it's your legs, whatever, that's kind of what you want to show off. So
I agree completely. And remember, those first impressions, you have about 30 seconds to make a first impression. You can overcome a failing from a first impression, but that initial intro, you got to smile, put on your best assets, put your best side forward, I guess. And then you be careful between confidence and arrogance.
Yeah.
And I think, so for the longest time, I had trouble with distinguishing the two. I knew, when I saw it, but it was hard to verbalize what it was. And I think Miss Jiff put it the best. So, and I'm going to completely butcher her analogy, but confidence was, you go in and you are confident and showing that you're being fed from, you're feeding everybody. I think like you come in and you're I'm comfortable in my own skin, and I want to give you this comfort.
As far as like the energy in the
Yeah,
room
this
goes.
energy.
Yeah.
Whereas arrogance is about sucking that energy from the room and sucking that energy from each other.
It's an interesting way to look at
So
it.
confidence comes out and you exude energy and good positivity, whereas arrogance comes in and it sucks it out of the room.
Steals the soul.
Fun suckers, which, can be fun as well, but not that kind of fun sucking.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, and again, I would say, in looking at these signs from people, just pay attention to when you are interacting with people, or if you see someone across the room that you're interested in, pay attention to, are they looking at you? Are they returning your gaze? Are they smiling, like, genuinely at you? If you're engaged in talking with them, their body language, are they leaning in towards you? Are they light touches? Is it a genuine smile? And are they actually making an effort to carry on the conversation and learn more about you and not just talk about themselves? That's a good way to kind of gauge whether someone's interested in you as well.
Yeah, I've seen it before a number of times, and I've done it, without really even realizing it. When I'm no longer interested, I'm like, okay, I'm not interested in this person, or I want to get away from this conversation. Mm-hmm. My eyes start to wander.
You're not focused on them.
I'm not focused on them, and that's a big sign. And I wish I try to be very focused on that. And if I see somebody's eyes start to wander, I'll say, oh well, I'll excuse myself. Right. I won't give them an out, like, do you want to go do this, or do you want, I'll say, oh well, I'm going to go over here. If you want to chat more, I'll be over here, and that gives them that sort of,
and that's good, because some people don't know how to take the initiative and how to end something when they want to get out. Some people just don't know how to say, hey, without saying that I'm not comfortable with this anymore, I'm not interested in this situation anymore, I want to go somewhere else. And so if you see those signs in someone that they aren't interested in you anymore, that's a good way to do it, is say, I'm going to go get a glass of water, or I'm going to go get another drink, or maybe, I see someone over there I haven't seen in a bit, I want to go say hi to them, or just something, even just a little, maybe go to the restroom, but just kind of get that break from them in there.
Yeah.
And because they may not know how to do that, and they may not be comfortable excusing themselves from the situation.
And the same thing goes in reverse. So if somebody, you want to get away from a conversation, do any of those, any of the things that you just said.
Or even just say, hey, it was nice talking to you. I'm gonna
go over here now.
I'm gonna go mingle with these people. Yeah. Especially at meet and mingles and at swinger events. I mean, the whole point is to move around. It's not like you go to one person or one group at the beginning and that's it, you're stuck.
Yeah.
So I don't think anyone should take offense to it if that happens, and B, don't take offense if that happens to you.
Yeah, you're there to meet and mingle, not one or both.
Right.
So, what do you think about pickup lines?
I would say most of the time they're cheesy, and would immediately turn me off of interacting with that person, unless they're funny, because I like humor and that's just me. So, but most of the time they are cheesy.
So I know that
if you're talking like scripted lines.
Well, I mean things like, would you grab my arm so I can tell my friends I've been touched by an angel?
Yeah, that's cheesy as hell.
I mean, it's like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like that's
and that's not funny.
No. Yeah. Do you believe in love at first sight, or should I walk by again?
Only if you walk out the door.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't know. So I know that we've discussed this with Miss Jiff as well, and she loves them. She thinks they're hilarious. They make her laugh, and that's it. These don't make me laugh. These make me sort of sad. But if you can come up with something that is clearly something that you haven't said a million times before, then maybe. But most pickup lines are just that. They're fucking lines. Yeah. And they're not going to work on me. I've had people try one or two on me. It doesn't work.
And you're like, oh, that was cute, but no.
So do you remember like having somebody use a line on you?
The most recent one, which actually was not a terrible one, it wasn't in a actual, I mean, I think it was sort of in a, I maybe kind of want to pick you up way, but at the same time they knew it wasn't going to happen. But a guy came up to me and he was like, you're a rare breed around here. There's not a lot of short brunettes in Australia. Most are tall blondes. And I was like, okay, that's kind of, that's not terrible. Yeah. But that was his line was, And I was like, okay, yeah,
Part of me feels like that falls into that stupid pickup artist negging.
It does.
Because you're clearly saying that you're not. I don't like that. Yeah, that's not a good line.
It's not a good line, but at the same time, it's like, well, it's at least different than
Fair enough,
a lot of other ones. But yeah, but I think he also knew, he's like, this isn't gonna work. So it's like, no, yeah.
Oh my God,
it's a good effort, but
yeah. I think that was that recent. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that was the same guy who said to me, air quotes, jokingly, that you're pretty good, but you need to work on your sit-ups.
Wow.
And I thought to myself, ooh, dude, you're kind of a dick.
Yeah.
So yeah, not a.
Hi.
Yeah, negging does not work with us. No. That is a horrible. Do not do shit like that, people.
No, don't do it.
Remember, be nice. Treat people the way you wish to be treated, and good things will happen to you.
I'm trying to think of any other lines I've heard lately, but.
Yeah, that's the only. I mean, I don't think he was trying to pick me up. I think he was trying to be an absolute cunt.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, I can't remember any more lines that.
I mean, the best thing to do is don't use a scripted cheesy line that you've used on a billion people, but just go up to somebody. A great opener is, hi, I'm whoever, whatever your name is.
Hello, my name is, insert your name here.
Yeah, and just say, and just strike up that conversation and say, I noticed something about you. I noticed your smile. I noticed your shoes, or, love the dress or something, and just
color your hair, your fingernails,
But be honest, and so whatever it was that drew you to them, compliment them on that.
Yeah.
Or just even if there's something, sometimes somebody will have something like either like on a jacket, or you may notice a book they're reading or something, and that's a commonality, or has a common interest. So you can kind of bring that in and strike up a conversation that way.
Or you might recognize a brand of something, or I've started up conversations with people because they were wearing Converse shoes. Like, oh, nice Connie's, and then we're like, oh, really? I've got these, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh my God, I got a pair. And then next thing you know, you're having a conversation with somebody, just over a pair of all-stars. I mean, it's just, it doesn't have to be, I don't know. I think the problem with most people is they shoot themselves in the foot by trying to be too clever. Yeah. They feel like, they feel like what they need to do, they need to be something, or they have to be funny, or they have to be clever. You don't have to be anything. You just have to be honest.
Yeah, I'll say people want honesty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
want to know that you're a genuine person.
Some people are very good at making up a clever quip on the spot, and some people aren't. And both are fine. If you're funny, you'll be funny.
Yeah.
You don't have to fake being funny. And the last thing you need to do is to fake something in this first, 30 seconds. I want you to be real.
Yeah.
That's just me, I guess.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree, for sure.
So if we talked a bit about how to get out of a conversation or say whatever, but if somebody is clearly not interested in you, or if your first opening pickup, hello, greeting didn't work, that's not an excuse or a cause for you to try round two. Just take it. I was like, okay, cool. Thanks. We'll have a great night. Mm-hmm. If you failed the first time, that's fine. Don't just keep retrying. Yeah. You can try again, but give it a while and then come back and then say something again. And if it fails again, that's it. You're done. Yeah. Don't keep trying to beat that dead horse.
Just accept it if somebody's not into you.
Yeah, we're not all into everyone. Just like you aren't into everyone, unless you are, then that's kind of weird. But if you're not, just like you're not into everyone, everyone's not going to be into you. We've had plenty of times that we've been shot down.
Yeah.
Or we're really interested in somebody, and it's clear they're not interested in us. And although it hurts the ego a bit, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Yeah.
And they're all attracted to shiny things. They're more fun to catch with a beer? I don't know. Anyway. Don't roll your eyes at me. They're more fun to catch with a double chocolate stout.
There you go. That's better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the main thing is just, again, like you want people to be honest with you, you should be honest with them. And if you're not interested in them, just say, I'm not interested, depending on the situation. You can just outright say that. Or, it was great talking to you, or, nice to meet you. I'm just gonna excuse myself over here or something, whatever. And if somebody says no to you, and especially like once you get around to wanting to play with somebody, if somebody says no, just say okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
I know too. There are those folks out there who you really take it seriously or take it personally when you get turned down. But it happens to all of us, and you'll have bad nights. We've had nights where everyone we talk to, it's very clear they're not into us or interested in us. And you're like, oh, okay, and you start to see it in your own body language. You'll slump your shoulders, and I think or you won't be smiling as much because you're already sort of, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I'm going to fail, so you fail. That's a big thing. Don't set yourself up for failure. Because if you walk up to somebody, again, slump shoulders and you're dragging your feet because the last two people said no or weren't interested, and you're not smiling and hi. I mean, nobody. It's like, just.
And also, don't take it personally as well, because it could be that they're just completely not interested in you. It could also be that they just aren't feeling it, or there's something else going on. I know there's times that we end up at the club, and we may just, especially if it's been a hectic week, we may be there because we want to socialize with people, but we really just want to play with each other. If we haven't had enough time with each other, we just want to play with each other and maybe put on a show for people. But
crevices. Damn it! I already forgot the name of my musical.
I don't remember.
Anyway,
it had something to do with crevices. Yeah. But yeah, so it could be situational as well. So it may be that they're not interested in you. Maybe they're not interested in playing at that moment, or whatever. But again, just don't take offense and just say okay, and you move on. And yeah, but I think the main thing is first, before you ever get to that point, recognizing if somebody's actually flirting with you, and you have to flirt with them.
Crevices
or it's
of
never
love.
going to happen.
Just hit me.
Crevices
I'm
of
listening
love.
to
There
you.
we go. Okay.
I'm listening to you, but my whole brain is going, what was the name of that song in my musical? Because we were going to put on a show for people.
Oh, okay.
That was you said.
Well, we should work on that then.
Yeah, we should. No, but I think you're spot on. You're exactly right. I'm just an asshole who's sitting over here thinking about what music.
It's all right. You can be an asshole.
Oh. Well, you are what you eat. Oh, damn it. Oh my God. Yeah. So, any final advice and thoughts on flirting?
Be genuine and be open-minded. Pay attention. That's all. I don't know. I think we've said it all.
I would also say, honestly, again, like I said, I flirt with everyone. Everyone.
Yeah.
And I'm not looking to get laid. I'm looking to make connections.
Just be friendly.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Yeah, that's exactly right. I'm just trying to be friendly and trying to be nice, and it's fun to do. So I find myself doing it at the grocery store, at bars, airplanes, even. It's just like wherever I am, I'm constantly, sort of just honing my skills, so that when we are at a situation like a meet and mingle or at a club, that I'm more of a laser than a light bulb. It
comes to you a little more naturally at that point then, because if you do practice it, then it doesn't feel awkward when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because the first few times when you do some of these things, it's going to feel awkward.
Yeah.
And you're going to be like, oh, everybody's staring at me, but that's not the case.
Why would anybody like me?
Yeah.
Because you're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, people should like you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well said.
I didn't say it.
I know. Well, you did just then.
Ooh, fair enough, but I stole it from Sally Fields.
Yeah.
Sally Fields? It was her Oscar speech. I don't remember. People are yelling at me again. Anyway, remember, crevices of love. All right, so that's the best I got, folks. I guess that's it.
Yeah.
So follow us on Twitter at By the By Podcast, on Facebook we're at By the By Podcast as well. www.bytheby.com.au. Email us your questions, comments, and rude remarks. You can email us at theatomsoflove@gmail.com.
And Instagram.
Oh my God, we are on Instagram.
We're actually doing something with it.
I know. I changed our username as well to By the By Podcast.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm trying to brand.
Yeah. Well, it keeps it consistent and easier for people to find us.
Honestly, it's for me because I can't fucking remember what the hell I'm.
Well, there's that too.
Yeah. I'm not a smart man.
That's not true.
So yeah. Well, thank you for listening, and hopefully you got something out of this.
Exactly.
It was fun. Yeah.
Join us next week.
Yeah.